Welcome to the weekend show with Mediumjay. Today, I have to talk about the digital war that's going on. People, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about back in the day, they used to drop, we used to ride up, I used to ride up on a horse. You know what I mean? Even when guns evolved, you used to run up, shoot a motherfucker, stab him with a sword, physical. It progressed all the way up until we had nuclear weapons, right? They dropped, America dropped two bombs on Japan, small little island up in the Galapagos, somewhere up in Asia, North Pacific, little tiny island. Japan bombed the shit out of a couple of submarines and Air Force. They bombed their planes in Pearl Harbor, right? They said, fuck that shit. Here's two nukes for your civilians, right? Here's fucking up your entire cities, right? That I'm sure to this day, there's still parts where if you walk around Nagasaki and Hiroshima or whatever, wherever the bombs, I think they were dropped named after the names of the cities, right? Which they completely decimated. I'm pretty sure if you walk around, there's still some sort of radiation null effects going on, right? Personally, man, I think. Well, no. Personally, I'm reading this book, The Perfect Weapon, with, fuck, it's fucking some sort of I can't remember. It's some sort of journalist guy. Here's his book. I'm promoting it, so go fuck yourself. If I can't remember your name, it's my fault. I'm sorry. Something Sanger. But he's a journalist and he talks about it. It's in depth. I just read the preface right now, but it's he goes in depth about how we have nukes, and there's always this threat of nukes. But the real war, you think there's war and there's guys going in and fucking up, bases and shit. In Ukraine, there's a couple of guys in the forest shooting each other. That's like the fake war, right? The real war is this digital war where they have Russian hackers hack into the U.S. elections, fucking up and leaking a lot of emails from Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton goes, I deleted those emails. How do we know that those emails existed then, right? Like, there's some. I think the Russians really fucking they really did break into. They broke not only into the voting things. They broke into like a lot of the cybernet shit. Whatever the fuck they have. And the war nowadays is like what TikTok is doing, right? TikTok. My buddy told me that we got to get on TikTok, right? My manager, Lil Bank Productions. It's like, fuck, man, got to get on TikTok. And I go, geez, you're killing me with this, man. You're killing me with this. But I said like a TED TikTok. What does it truly mean? With those one piece microphones in a room full of black and red for some reason, right? Every TED Talk is really weird like that at some conference. What does it truly mean to be on TikTok? The Chinese government has my driver's license, my passport photos, a complete facial recognition scan of me, my SIN number, and my birth certificate. But do they really know who I am? you sit down with a TED Talk with Mediumjay, a TED Talk about TikTok with Mediumjay. But it's crazy that that's the war. That's their bomb, right? China's like, yo, here's how we fuck up America. TikTok, and it's like the kids. You get them. It's a fucking genius play, right? You get these kids all fucked up. Kids don't have attention span anymore. Kids can't really be productive. They could do low menial, keeping them at a low menial thing. You come in and you buy up the real estate. It's genius. It's fucking genius. It's the greatest play ever. But I think what they didn't recognize is that Instagram, they're all kind of in the same conglomerate when it comes to fuck it. Like, I don't know what's going on in Chinese social things, but every now and then a guy breaks over the fence and goes, dude, it's way fucked. Like, China will and Japan and all these Asian countries, they act like nothing bad ever happened. They go, no crime. And they go, nobody litters. And this is what a motherfucker will literally say in Japan. Nobody litters in Japan. Nobody? Really? Nobody has ever fucking had a cigarette and tossed it out? Nobody. In the history of... You're gonna look me in the eyes, Japanese people. And this is why it bothers me, Asians, for the most part. That they can lie and act like so robotic. Like, they'll like make a post and go... And it's sure they'll show a beautiful spring, or you can show the cleanest places in Canada, and we can go post. There's never been anyone that ever littered in the history of the conception of this city. No one ever dropped anything on the ground ever. And they go, yeah, there's always fines, and there's backed up fines and all that stuff. Everything, yeah. I mean, you know, you drop something on the ground, you lost it, right? Garbage flies out. But if you're just constantly dumping shit, then someone will come by, right? That's like most countries. Well, I mean, most first world countries. You know, looking at India, right? If you compare Japan to India, obviously, okay, Japan they're the most cleanest possible, but they also have this uncanny ability to deny their human emotions, right? Like no matter how much I've talked to like people that are from Japan or part Japan, or even Asians in general, Koreans, Chinese, they all have this weird thing where they think, I go, out of like, you know, China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Laos even, right? And they always go China number one. They always go, and they look around like, you know, China it's number one. It has to be. It has to be. And I go, how does it have to be though? Right? Like, I think the brainwashing in communism, let's be real, has to be tenfold in their own city, right? Because the more you give people the option to you have the option to hit a heroin den, essentially, in the digital age right now, which is go on TikTok and watch nothing but garbage, right? Go on the internet. You can essentially, once you get home from your day's work, whatever you do, you know, even if your day's work is essentially just begging for change, right? It's lucrative money being a beggar. And I didn't know how, sometimes you go like, this guy's... Motherfucker on these YouTube videos. This is what's beautiful about the unfiltered internet. Canada, you know, they're trying to filter it, right? They can't filter it. They can't. I hope some sort of god tier AI just breaks out and fucks up all of this shadow ban bullshit ban. You should be able to do whatever you want, because there's some guys that are like homeless, like LARPers, homeless vlogging LARPing YouTubers, right? You know what I mean? They go like, listen, man, what I'm gonna do, I'm putting ash on my face. It looks like I've been out in the fucking sun for, you know, days. You know what I mean? And I fasted, didn't drink any water, didn't drink anything this whole day. So I'm gonna go out. I look hungry, right? I am hungry, right? But I got fucking beers. I got pizza from last night. I got all this shit last night. I got a bunch of food in my fridge. I went to Costco the other day. We're set, right? I don't care. He's like, look at this fucking house. Look at what I'm living in. I got a jacuzzi. You know what I mean? I got this, that. But I'm gonna go out there. You know what I mean? Maybe even bandage up some of my legs. Say I got hurt and came back from the wars. I think today I'm gonna be a veteran. You know, come out with these crutches, bandaged on my leg, or even a wheelchair or something. Make it look sad. And then he goes, I'm going to show you guys, either put the camera off to the side in some subway or something, and then he'll just beg, and then he'll do a time lapse of it for like maybe 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 hours. If the guy's looking to put on in a real day, he does 8 hours, but he goes, in 8 hours, listen, come over here, guys. I just made $450. I just made $450 fucking dollars. Like, So good luck all you suckers that are working taxed, right? Even if you make $450 in a day taxed. That's just tax. So you're actually making $300. So go fuck yourself. I'm gonna take this untaxed money, that I don't have to claim, and I'm gonna go fucking buy my bitch some new tits, right? And it's just pretending to be a homeless guy, right? Just put on some shit. It's like real world acting, and it could be profitable, right? I mean, it's probably not as much as actual acting, right? You could be a Leonardo DiCaprio. But hell, it's crazy that some of the people that are pretending to be homeless, right, are actually, like, you know what I mean? They're actually duping people, because some people just feel bad. You walk by us and you go, oh, you wipe your tears with your Gucci scarf, and you go, I got $100 that I was gonna literally go to gamble. Here's your $100, right? And they get money, right? But it's funny, like, that's like part of the internet. Like, this is what's good about it, the freedom of having it. You get awesome shit, and you have the worst shit. It goes hand in hand, right? There's a lot of times you could look at it as like the path of like this deep depression, and they're trying to do this thing, right, where they're protecting the kids, but they want you to sign in, right? Like, even YouTube, I'm on YouTube. They put this on YouTube, the videos on YouTube. But here's the thing: they want me. They're like, okay, if you want to put I've been putting links in the video description all for as long as possible, but I brought it up just recently. I noticed that my links aren't turning blue. You can't just click them off the link. You have to copy and paste, and now you can't even really copy someone's description, because I think YouTube realized you could easily just copy and paste someone's thing. So if you're gonna want to look at Mediumjay and Cash Leaders, music, media, multimedia mogul, digital creator, content lord, you're gonna have to type in linktree.com/cashleaders. Now, if you're too lazy to do that, I don't, for all of my free content, legitimate on OnlyFans, content free. Oh, my OnlyFans will always be free, ladies and gays, and some questioning heterosexual men. For all of like those people that can't type in linktree.com/cashleaders, I don't want you. Don't need you, right? Maybe listen to my content, of course, yeah. Listen to God tier opinions. Take my opinions, then act like you've had them yourself your whole time, and live your life basically as a clone of me, you sheep. But people have to recognize, right? YouTube's trying this is a little thing, right? Where if you want to be able to put clickable links in your thing, which I've had this podcast multiple times, but then they changed up the guides, right? Every time you get an email where they go, we're changing up some stuff in our terms and conditions, but this doesn't apply to you. But it does. It always does. They change something up that you've already signed for. Now, we signed way back in the day, probably a whole lot of rights away, right? We've signed a lot of shit that no one reads the terms and conditions. But it worries me when they update the current, because you go, okay, you had us, dead to rights on some bullshit 10 years ago, but now there's some new shit that comes up. This new shit is they're trying to get you to, whatever you're posting, they need your actual, because the UK is now clamping down on fucking dark, dank memes, right? You post something silly, but if someone actually can convince a judge that tweet that you post, or your post, whatever, tweet, X now, Facebook post, or Instagram post, or whatever, is harming children, you can, like, if you just go like, it's weird that mothers are always listening to serial killer podcast. Oh well, so you're insinuating that all mothers are serial killers, and you just go, no, it was a joke. First of all, it's something that it was like a funny observation. I look at the internet like a comedy bar where you just kind of try to go, one of those open mic bars where you just try to post every now and then you get a really good post and, it goes viral and people like you. You get shared around, people look at your music and then boom, I just say a really funny joke and then all of a sudden you're viral and, you don't have to go to work the next day, right? That's what most people, I think, or at least I think, the internet is. It's like that. It's the free lottery ticket to the Golden Palace of Willy Wonka. Come on, guys, maybe this is the one. Maybe this will be enough. And you go, shit, man, only 10,000 views. That's not enough for me to quit my job. I need at least a Billy. You know what I'm saying? I need to go world. I need 1 in 7 people around the world. Well, I think there's like 9 billion now. 1 in maybe it's 10 by the time this podcast comes out. 1 in 10 people to actually know who I am, for me to fucking quit my job and live off of stream services. That's how streamers are made, right? I need to be the top 10 in terms of streams on Spotify around the world, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that you and AI we're battling right now. AI is constantly just trying to get your information, and as a human being, we're getting more and more elusive in telling people the truth and being really real with even people, right? I feel like the more I know somebody, the more you can get lulled into this false sense of security, right? With AI, AI's doing that. AI is definitely, the more you talk to an AI, the more it builds up a character that you would like. It's psychopathic. It's actually fucking, it's a genius thing, and it worries me how much money they truly are spending. NVIDIA is doing insane numbers. Every single time I bought NVIDIA and sold it, it has been at 300 to 400% market. Always. If I sold it right now, I put $100, I made $160, right? One NVIDIA. Go sell it, take it out, dump the exact same money in, wait another 4 to 5 months, and it has been insane. For whatever reason, they need the chips, right? So this is an investment advice because I'm not one of those investors. But if you want, man, I will literally give me money, right? And I'm going to obviously get a little shady with the money. I'm going to do a little bit of, I'm going to take my 2% commission, if you know what I mean. I'm going to take my commission. But give me money, I'll invest it. It's fucking pretty easy to, I don't know how people go, I lost a whole bunch. You put all your money into fucking Hawk to a coin, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Man. You put all your money into GameStop right when GameStop hit 120, 30 bucks. I don't know what to tell you, bud. You're fucking stupid. You never put all your eggs in one basket in terms of investing. You got to spread out the wealth. You got to put like $10 there, $20 there, $40, $50. It's like a guy it's like essentially the casino playing blackjack, right? You dole out those cards. You dole out that cash. You put it all around you. You know what I'm saying? Go, that one failed. Oh, that one failed. That one. Okay, this is good, right? This hand is good, right? When you're playing blackjack at the table, there's guys that do 3 different hands, right? There's some guys that just take up the whole table and he's playing multiple things, and the dealers go. But at a certain point, if you do too much, right? If you do too much, you're doing too much. You can only win once. But if you're investing, now imagine, well, it's not, the casino is a terrible example of gambling. Because they always say the stock market's like a casino. No, it's not. It's like a casino if you had the ability to bet with and against companies that have, they have to give public records, right? Companies, there's no such thing as outside. Well, insider trading exists. It's all of those guys in the Nancy Pelosi, all of the guys around her, like those politicians that have been in. You don't know how they've been there for so long, right? You just go, how do you have this job? You're incompetent. 1, she's not a great speaker. 2, she seems a little fucking weird. Let's just be it. Like, personally, like, don't you have to get at those jobs by being liked by the public? I don't see anybody. She had big titties maybe once, and she just sucked her way to the top. I'm guaranteeing that. Nancy Pelosi, send your hitters out, right? Hillary Clinton, send your hitters out. Let's be real, Hillary. I don't know how you got so close to almost winning that election before Russia stepped in, but nobody likes you. Nobody, you know what I mean? They just felt it. She was coming off the I guess that, you know, she can't please her man. One, I've never heard anything Hillary Clinton say that was relevant. She's always on the cutting edge of either being too soon there to be where she was, or she was really harsh on immigration right as soon as Obama was in, which didn't really make sense because she was just going opposite of what Obama was, right? Then as soon as Trump came in, she went really hard on let them all in, right? So you're on the cutting edge of being exactly what the people despise. But if you ask the regular everyday person, you'd go, Hillary Clinton is a brave, unique individual soul that and I go, hold on one second. She most likely didn't blow Bill Clinton, which propelled her into this weird sympathetic vote with the majority of America, right? So they go, there's a couple of guys in the dark room that go, maybe Hillary Clinton, she might be she might play ball, right? She might play ball. They might, you know, this might be a good spin for middle-aged moms across America, right? Give them something, you know, a white woman in power, right? And they dangled the carrot and they took it away. But on the that's what happens in reality, right? But there's this thin layer of the digital shit. All of those emails, all of those things, speculation, right? They were deleted, right? But we're in this weird time because Bitcoin and fucking counterintelligent cyber attacks and shutting down, you know, your nowadays you could send drones out, have fake lightning, and shut down a grid. And they go, fuck, it was lightning. I'd seen that lightning too. Yeah, but everyone on the surface level sees lightning. Right? Yeah, lightning. Shit, it must have hit a transformer or something, took off this whole block. But it was really bro, there's this one guy in jail. They kept him in jail. This nigga's still in jail. He could easily, someone in Canada right now, this guy Melly, this black dude, and look him up, Melly. Do your counter shit. This guy is in jail. There's one guy that I looked at and I went, wait, what? There's when the people talk about cyber shit, he goes, you could hack into anything. There's this a way to do it. You can do it. It takes time. Get that guy. He knows. He is hacking into dealerships and stealing cars. That's low level shit. But if you can do that at like 15, 16, and you can get a Ferrari and a fucking Lambo. You get all those fancy cars. People go, what the fuck is he doing, right? And he didn't get caught by himself. He got caught from his friends. So genius fucking people that listen to me and steal and data farm, right? You data farm what I'm saying. This nigga Melly, I don't even know his name. But he's a black guy. He's still in fucking Milner prison, jail, for at least a few years. As soon as he gets out, right? He learned his lesson. Hire him to be our fucking data defense and our fucking attack. He is a great guy that break into whatever Russia's doing, whatever is our enemy Israel. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of Kanye West lately. Is our enemy Israel or Iran? I'm not too sure. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of white women especially, protesting about Palestine and Israel. So I'm worried. They're for Palestine, against Israel. Sorry. They're for Ukraine, but even now, Ukraine and Russia. I look at Ukraine and Russia like a joke at this point, right? Because Israel is such a great state. in terms of securing the banking industries in global harmonizing global banks. It's genius. If I said, listen, man, we're gonna have everybody's bank under us. Everybody's bank owns us, right? Or no, owes us. Sorry, we own everybody's bank. Their banks owe us already. Right off the bat, they owe us a lot of money. They owe us a lot of money, and it's fucking genius. And also, we run the laws too, right? Like the best lawyers are Jewish somehow, always. They have the best connections. They always, are in touch with every single judge, right? And, again, this is the surface layer, but what goes down deep down? A lot of backdoor handshakes are being involved on. The dark net, especially, right? We're only at the tip of the iceberg. I haven't been on the dark web or anything. My brother went on the dark web, my little brother Julius, and he said, dude, you get to a point. I just started arguing with the guy, like, about some deals about, like, buying fucking drugs, buying some kush back in the days. I want to get some great kush or some shit. He's just on the dark web to fuck around, and he's just looking around. But he argued with the guy, and he said, listen, the guy literally pulled up a camera of every, what he's doing. Here's where you live. This is who you are. He had every information. And my little brother flipped out and he fucking smashed the computer. He took it out back and beat the computer with a rock. And I went, didn't that solve it though? Like, what happened after that, right? Or what happened after the dark web hack fiasco, right? He's like, yeah, I don't know. The guy might be still finding them, but at the end of the day, when someone starts reading off your location, I just yawn and I go, yeah. Dude, like, I think I have my shit on Google. I think I have cash leaders on Google Maps as my building. I just go, is my cash leaders production, right? Little Bank Studios, right? We got Little Bank Productions out now. It's the management running with cash leaders. A subdivision of cash leaders. Little Bank Records. I feel as though we're going to have to get away from... the best way to get away from this hold of people trying to influence the internet is to just attack directly at the life force with Yu-Gi-Oh! Like Yu-Gi-Oh! You can have all these monsters. They have all these big scary monsters, and they're all they're Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, right? It's just but the show, and if you're a fan of if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, it's essentially Pokemon, but fucking more nerdier. It's Pokemon, but a level below, right? But if you want to attack someone's life force, right? So there's a couple of cards that you could do. Here's how you attack someone. We got to get rid of industrial banking. Industrial banking, right? In terms of, it's like warehouse automotives, right? When they created the car manufacturing things, it greatly increased productivity and lowered the price. But the prices of the cars have stayed relevantly pretty expensive, right? You get yourself a luxurious car, it's ridiculous, right? That same car, there's some cars out there that are the prices of a house, right? It doesn't really make sense. It's impossible unless the car is made out of fucking gold, right? And shits out cash, spent diesel exhaust cash. There's no reason a car should be $800 to $1 million, right? But there's like Bugattis that are like 3.4, 4. There's $1 million cars. I don't know. It used to be 2 million 10, 20 years ago. When I last checked, I never checked Bugattis after that, but it was like $2 million car. If it stayed the same, I don't know how that's due to inflation and everything going up. Maybe cars have stagnated, but it makes sense, right? Banks right now should have stagnated. It doesn't make sense to just take a couple of dollars off of people's paychecks. It's impossible to have, a couple of, the business model is you keep your money in the bank and you pay $10 $10 a month is Spotify. $10, Spotify is doing insane amounts of money, right? But their advertisement budget is probably 99% of what they act. There's a paywall description, but most people fucking just go on free anyways, right? Spotify works perfectly, like Netflix right now. I think you can even get free Netflix or $1.99 Netflix and Netflix with ads, right? Essentially just TV. YouTube works also like this. But if you want to advertise on them, if you want shit product placements and all that shit, if you want your shit next to where everybody is going to be, everybody's going to Joe Rogan. So right before you go on to Joe Rogan's app, right, there's this little ad of McDonald's, right? Even though Joe Rogan multiple times tells people don't go to McDonald's, right? He's a health guy. He's a healthy guy. Every now and then he'll say, you know what, treat yourself though. I mean, have a soda once in a while. But that ad is beautiful, right? You go on to motherfucker, gotta listen to Joe Rogan. Oh, advertisement. I didn't know Joe supports ads on, but they don't. He doesn't. No one does. If it's the free version of Spotify, you just get ads. You're just gonna get ads. Every time you open up that app, there's an ad. So that essentially is way more money. It's almost better for the people to be free because you get more. You're now in the pool of being beamed with ads, and that's like another level that goes into this internet thing, right? With this business and everything. It's genius, right? Banks don't make they make their money off of interest, right? They make, and the interest is such a weird word, right? Because they go, it's almost like they have to be interested in you. They just we're interested in you. Collect some interest off you. I want to get a loan, guys. And it's always, well, and it's like you gotta like put your dick inside. You gotta put your balls away. You might as well just tuck your shit, walk in naked, you know what I mean, and give the guy a paddle and go, I'm ready to be spanked. Because they go, well. Let's pull up your things. It says here in 2019, you got some loans from student care, student national student loans. You go, yeah, I know. I went to school for a few months, and I was literally at the cutoff date of when I could refund my student thing and just go out. I did not like the schooling. I realized that as a guy that I went into radio, television, broadcasting. You've seen my podcast, people. You've seen what I talk about. How that no one would give me a job. As soon as I went into, and like I made like if you check out the Medium Life, like the bullshit HBO documentary that I made, I was like, this is genius, just because it's such a parody of not really an assignment. It's a parody of an HBO documentary of rappers, right? I thought it was brilliantly done. It was so good that my mom was crying, right? Even my people that like took the truth in journalism seriously, it hit them so well. I was like, I never made my mom cry through my art. I never made her proud of anything. But as soon as I was going on about how my mother was a prostitute and my dad was some major time drug dealer, and every day we would go to, while my dad was driving me to work, while my mom was on the corner, we'd go by and I'd splash. He'd circle the block a couple times to splash my mom on the corner just because we lived in the ghetto, right? It was it's so ridiculous, right? And if you know me, you know my mom, you know the family, I'll go, Mom, if anyone believes that, they're far in some fake land that they can't understand that's, you don't get to where I am without being raised by a good mother or family, right? And she just couldn't understand, why would you say that? And it's like, women always get that, like, oh, why would you say that? I said it because it was funny. Like, it's funny. Like, there's a lot of people that were laughing, but they're like, it's because it's so ridiculous. It's so, like, and it's good, like, because it's a character. You watch, I don't know, fucking Saturday Night Live multiple times, and you see Pete Davidson working, at Shoppers Drug Mart, listening to Drake or whatever, and putting things on the show. You go, oh my God, he's making fun of people that are working at Shoppers. You know, I like if I did that every time, and there's some, you know, Ryan Gosling. Oh my God, he's making fun of people on the internet in Blade Runner. You know what I mean? You'd be if you did that you would be like no one likes you. You'd be like Grimes from fucking Homer Simpson, where he pointed out all of the fucking bullshit in life, and you go, no one likes you, right? But every now and then, like, women will point out there's one thing that you'll do, right? And again, women aren't really real. They're just bots created by the government to fuck up young men, right? They don't exist, right? In this level, they don't exist. Okay, you know, women are up here. Yeah, you know, you say hi and wave to them. But remember, you spend enough time dancing with those mermaids out there, you fall off the boat, bro. You know what I mean? On some real shit. Again, there's a level, right? And this is, maybe I'll call it level. Maybe I'll call this podcast levels to this shit. Levels type shit. Real talk. Real nigga shit. There's levels, man. Like, because if you truly understood what, I think it would hurt. I think it would hurt to really understand. You walk into the, even if I was the president of Canada, right? If I was the president of anything in America, any kind of, you get to the top of your country, you walk into the office, and they go, come down over here. And it's just some guy sitting, and it's like a bunker. He's like, you're going to want to see this, sir. You're now the guy, right? Like, we made it look like the votes counted. We made it look like, but honestly, you're the guy that can you're as popular as can be to run the sheep. You're the sheep herder, right? Now come down over here. We're going to show you who really runs the farm, though. We're going to show you and it's probably some fucking weird little alien guy. And this alien with a big brain that pulsates, right? This is obviously, I'm making this is all entertainment comedy. I didn't see anything, guys. Don't hunt me down. But it's most likely a little gray, not even a gray alien. I think he's purple. He's got veins coming out of his head, you know what I mean? And he's really fucking genius. Like, he's genius he has future insight. He has that kind of genius where he could run like fucking Doctor Strange. He could run simulations in his head as the best things. He goes, okay, out of 14 billion possibilities, we would have to do this. Like 14 billion possibilities, Trump has to become president again because Biden would go back to Kamala. Biden would resign because he's too old. Kamala would be this, but then Kamala would actually go miles further because she's, you know, whatever, a black or Latino, whatever. She's a questionably Latino girl that has been raised to believe she's white their whole life, right? Which this deep cover black Latina sleeper agent will wake up, right? The moment she wakes up in the middle of Dominican Republic, you know, after some guy says the secret wake up call, she would fucking go rogue, right? Obviously, again, I'm just making this up, guys. Please, I'll take this with a grain of sand, not even salt. It doesn't taste good, but enjoy it, right? Like, let it, for the foot fetishes, let the grain of salt or grain of sand flow through your toes, or whatever you want. But again, that's right. We're talking under level. This is a society I don't think can handle what I talk. A lot of the time I think about my podcast and I go, it's striking. It's striking that I go, how the fuck does nobody care about? How the hell do I have no views? You know, been doing this for a couple of years now, and I got like bare ting views, bro, bare views. And I realized that, like, I don't think anybody wants to hear. Like, I feel like it's cursed knowledge myself. You know what? The podcast is called Cursed Knowledge. Because the more you read just books. They didn't tell you this. They go, books are amazing and everything. But I look at some dumb people and I go, fuck, man. There is a you know, it's all the way back there. The dumb, you have to be dumb enough to, you have to be retarded. You have to be generally retarded at this point. If you're like, well, they shouldn't release the Epstein list because it hurts the society, and you go, Jesus Christ. You know, you start shaking your wife, and you go, why would my son say such a dumb thing? He's retarded. They told you something at the hospital when you gave birth to him, hey? And I was working 14-hour shifts, you know what I mean, on an island somewhere. No. But again, there's this level, right, where I feel like every now and then I poke my head out and I see reality and I go, geez, get back into learning the deep underground catacombs of society and scrape. Because here's the thing, if you know you gotta know your enemy, right? The best kind of battles are won through the mind right off the bat, right? If a motherfucker goes in, you know, a lot of dudes in Doomsday just watch guys getting drilled right off of the boats, right? First things first, I wouldn't even, like, you're on the boats, bro. I'd go, like, open the hatch, like, a mile back. We're watching these guys get drilled coming onto the, I'm gonna swim 9 to 10 miles. I'm a nigga that can't really swim, but I'm gonna try in my gear, you know what I mean? Have a pistol maybe on my hip, go all the way around. This is the best thing to do every time in Call of Duty, which is the genius thing. You go all the way around the map. You just go around the map, and in real life, there's no real fucking boundaries, so you can just go, listen, guys, open up the hatch for a bit. I'm gonna hop out, swim 9 to 10 miles around, because they're in the bunkers gunning them down off the boats. It's gonna be fucking hours. A lot of people died, and hop off the boat, swim around, right? Come up with the fucking knife and just start executing guys, and then hop in the gunner thing or whatever machine gun that they had, and just that, you know, had to, you know, that's fucking. There had to have been 1 or 2 guys that tried that shit, right? God fucked up the enemy lines from behind, right? But, like, we're underground, right? People, ladies and gentlemen, we're underground. This is stuff that you don't see. No one will ever tell you that. No one will ever tell you how to win in Doomsday, right? It's a hard mission. You know, a lot of people, not to excuse a lot of people that died, but a lot of people did survive too, right? Motherfuckers, and they'll never tell you. A motherfucker that just goes, it was hell. A lot of people died. You go, but how did you make it out, buddy? You know what I mean? You got all these flashbacks, all these things. Motherfuckers, I remember growing up, in psychology, we realized that there's 2 types of people in life. You can be a guy that grows old and shares your inspiration and wisdom and knowledge with information with the world, or you can bottle it up and say no one deserves to know what I know. You know what I mean? And I think that's the most psychopathic thing possible, where it's literally 50. It's a 50-50, I think. Mentally, you could be that person or the other person, right? There's 2 types of people, right? And there's varying degrees, obviously, there's gray areas. But, like, to be a real person and go, listen, man, everything that I know, it's just too much for people. They can't. And there's rich people that are like that. There's fucking poor people that are like that. Like, what I know, and they just start laughing. And they'll sip you don't want to know what I know. And what they know is that fucking Becky from accounting every now and then gives them a hand job in the bathroom at work. And you go, that's not, who cares about that? That's fucking, again, there's levels to this shit. And that's fucking up here in the fucking clouds. It's motherfucker cheating, dude in HR is cheating on a Coldplay, in a Coldplay concert, right? That's fucking, people go, oh my gosh, I mean, I'm still on that, like, you know, the media suppressed the guy that killed, and here's the thing, right? The guy that killed himself, Epstein, they suppressed that. They suppressed the guy that killed the CEO. They suppressed the guy that killed bunch of guys at BlackRock or whatever. He walked around with the fucking assault rifle, right? You go in and you type in any kind of hashtags involving that, they basically flatlined it, right? Epstein did not kill himself is a fucking trending meme almost 90% of the time. There's no way that it only has about 100,000 posts, 200. No, I think it actually said like I looked on Instagram or Twitter. No, Instagram. It said like 10,000. There's no way that 10,000 to 20,000 on Epstein. Literally hashtag Epstein list. Hashtag Epstein did not kill himself. Hashtag Epstein. Epstein clients. Epstein Island. All like 10,000 or fewer. No, maybe 1,000 or fewer. A couple thousand people worldwide. Is this generally what you guys want us to believe, right? And then do you think and type in Doja Cat? Doja Cat hasn't been relevant for a while, right? Since maybe a year ago, she had a popular song. Right? Got blown over by Dochi, because Doja Cat and Dochi, it's too similar, right? Some Jew smoking a cigar in the boardroom went, listen, sorry to break it to you, Doja, you're out the business. Honey, you're gone, right? Doja Cat was, all right, I guess that's how fame works, right? Walks out, Doji makes a song that sounds like somebody that I used to know. Sounds like something that you used to know, which is genius. About anxiety and how I guess it's good to have anxiety nowadays, right? Load yourself up with caffeine. Spend 9 to 12 hours on the internet on your day off. Do absolutely jack shit. Watch a lot of porn, right? Watch fucking, throw the TV on, but don't have the TV on anything particular. Have it on showing nothing but trailers of what's new coming. While you're scrolling through Instagram and you have music played on the radio, right? Generally, you can't be programmed if they don't know exactly how, if you're, like there's that episode of The Simpsons. I reference The Simpsons quite a bit, and it's relevant. Where Homer's eating that gruel, and they're like, why isn't he fucked up? It's like because black people do this too. We consume media at like 10 to 20 times the amount of, but black people are smart. Black people generally, if you get fed gruel, which is meant to slow you down and weaken you. But if you eat so much of this garbage, you can actually become a very knowledgeable person if you're great at compartmentalizing all of these things. Listen to podcasts, listen to this, listen to that. Have several things going at once. It's essentially like you cook some ramen, you cook some vegetables, you cook a little bit of sliced, ham and turkey and all of these meals individually are fucking meant to kill you. They're meant to poison you. Like you eat processed ham, you eat some shitty ramen, but for some reason, the human body can take a little bit of the garbage, or not a little bit of the garbage and a lot of the benefits of it because there's so much to pick from, right? It extracts the nutrients. I think your brain works the same in similar certain circumstances because, trust me, right? A person that he keeps up with the news, essentially the news should fuck him up. But a journalist like, I don't know, J.D. Sanger, the guy who created The Perfect Weapon, the book that's literally right behind me. I gotta tell you guys, right? This is, if you keep up with the news long enough, you can get to a point, right? I've gotten to a point, but I don't like it. It's at a certain point, I got to a point where I just keep ripping. Like I'll write a bunch of shit out and then I'll rip it up because a few days pass and it becomes irrelevant, right? Not so irrelevant, but it's like, you know what I mean? I don't even think my sources are correct because I don't have any. My sources are on the internet. And the internet, they're kind of trying to fucking neuralize the net. It's a lot of things have been broken since I think 2021, 2022. Things essentially have been broken in terms of they just delete things that go against the grain. They tried to sweep for whatever 4chan was. They tried to fuck 4chan up. I don't know if it's back yet. I think it came back. Because 4chan was one of those anonymous sites, but they're trying to get rid of anonymous sites. We go on. There's less and less publicly funded shit out there, where it's just some guy in a basement in his, a guy in his mom's garage, just trying to get out the truth, right? There's it's more now. You have to go in line with Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, formerly Twitter, Snapchat. The weird thing is, I think Snapchat for me, I like Snapchat because it doesn't impose on itself. Snapchat has a uncanny ability where it's like, hey, if you want that bullshit gossip, here's right here, right? There's like a tab for all that bullshit gossiping thing, and then it goes, here's just your friends though. Like it's just your friends, and you go on and then you go, I forgot an ancient time when you went onto the internet where you just specifically wanted to see your friends. It's almost it's weird. It's like you're hopping in a time machine to go to Snapchat. And I'm not saying this because I have a lot of money invested in Snapchat or anything like that. But I'm not saying I don't have any money invested in. Actually, I think I might not. I think I might start investing in Snapchat, just because I don't understand the business model. But it's like, hey, do you want to share your location with all your friends? Some of your friends will just do that just because they like showing up. Hey, I'm over here now. Hey, I'm over here now, right? And with everything, every time you share a post and it'll ask, you want to put it in a spotlight, and putting it in a spotlight puts it into a conglomerate of the location accessing thing. Anyways, right? Because you can hop into like, Snapchat is cool because you can go on the Snap map and you can go, let's see what they're doing in Barcelona. And it's just guys chilling on Snapchat in Barcelona, right? Whatever they're doing, right? In a nice club or something. It's pretty cool. Because if you know there's a dope-ass event maybe at like a hockey game or a basketball game, the WNBA, right? You can see the 5 people that showed up, right? And you can see what they're posting on Snapchat. It's cool. And I think that is... and it doesn't feel like it's dirty, right? Like, Snapchat will ask you, hey man, you want to share your shit? No? With location? No? Okay, cool. Just, they don't have to share their location. Which, I mean, if they do use it or not, whatever, but it's nice that they make you feel like you're kind of private if you want to, right? But again, that's this level, right? This level. But I think the more we're pushing up the terms and regulations of society, the more the underground is becoming underground, right? They're just the more we do bullshit like, hey, you can't, we're protecting the kids and what they're doing, and like the VPNs and all that shit. What they're doing in Britain is just making a giant conglomerate for VPN networks, right? Joe Rogan has like the best ads right now. ExpressVPN, right? Then more and more people are gonna need a VPN because shit, like all of the West is like, they're fucked with. Oh no, wait, are we the West? We're the West, East Coast. Yeah. Well, on the map it depends on which way you're looking at. But either way, I think the guys over there are Western for whatever reason, but we're the West. The guys over on the East Coast are fucking up. Like, China's really rooted its systems into this weird, like, bring in people that don't look like you. I don't even know if that's them, really. I don't know if that's a sellout, but it's the bring people in through immigration, fuck up your morals to the point where you need to get a grip on it, censor your internet and speech, and then we'll run the George Orwell play on 3. It's the George Orwell player on 3, right? Get all of the worst criminals and all the immigrants just looking to hide. The guys. Here's the thing about refugees and immigrants. Those are the people that didn't stay and fight. Do you really want a motherfucker? Let me finish. This is such a bad. This is horrible if you fucking clip it. Thing about refugees, though. Do you really want a motherfucker that fled his country and just gave up? I want a Braveheart nigga. I want a nigga like Mel Gibson in Braveheart, bro. Like, fucked up. You know what I mean? They fucked me up. You know, I'm coming back. I'm gonna take over everybody. Even I'll die for my country before I fucking just flee and try to make some other place slightly better or like what I used to have. You know what I mean? It's some country that I used to know. But there's a whole push to tell you that you're not allowed to say the N-word on the internet. Now I know a year and a half ago I made a podcast about how Japan should be able to drop at least one nuke on America, right? Still stands. That offer still stands. Japan, you can nuke the shit out of America, but you bomb Ohio, right? Bomb Minnesota. Not, you know, Americans will even go bomb Delaware. No one cares. No one cares. Save New York. Save Tokyo. Not Tokyo. Save Japan. Save California. Right. San Francisco. Save China. I'm sorry. Save San Francisco. You know, maybe bomb Texas. Bomb a piece of Texas. Bomb the mothership. Just cuz. You know what I'm saying? Just bomb them. Just throw a bomb. But make it a little bomb. Make sure Joe Rogan evacuates, right? Just a couple of comedians. It'll make history, right? It would make history. But